Spy culture. Scientology operates with a pervasive spy culture that intertwines surveillance, intelligence gathering, and coercive data collection, all designed to maintain control over members and suppress dissent. This culture is not incidental but institutionalized, with deep roots in Scientology policy and history. Below is an overview of key elements of this spy-driven approach. Mail and communication surveillance. Members of the Sea Org, a group that signs an agreement with Scientology to be the most dedicated members, report having their mail intercepted, opened, and filtered, both incoming and outgoing. Scientology extends its surveillance beyond members to ex-members, often spying on them for years. Private investigations and covert activities. Scientology has been known to hire private investigators to monitor ex-members and critics. Some tactics include purchasing homes near ex-members, rummaging through trash, and using spies to gather information. To shield its operations, Scientology employs buffers to distance itself from direct involvement. Extensive data collection. Members are required to share exhaustive personal details, including family, education, employment, medical history, legal issues, relationships, and even their future plans. One method of doing this is referred to as a life history. Auditing sessions, which are represented as confidential, involve meticulous documentation of a person's most intimate thoughts, past traumas, and actions, often filling file cabinets with personal records. Hubbard encouraged the use of intelligence gathering, stating that data on everything and everybody should be collected continuously. Weaponization of information. Information gathered during auditing, life history sessions, and other disclosures is stored in various files, such as ethics files, personnel files, intelligence files, and auditing folders. Former members report that these confidential disclosures are used against individuals who leave or speak out, creating a culture of fear and compliance. Ron Miscavige, the father of the current Scientology leader David Miscavige, stated that anything obtained by the organization, such as information shared during the auditing sessions can, and often is, used against individuals. Espionage and timeless directives, the backbone of Scientology operations. Surveillance, spying/espionage, as a religious mandate. Scientology has a long history of espionage, including Operation Snow White in 1978, which was, at the time, the largest domestic espionage case in U.S. history, involving the infiltration of government agencies. In 1992, Scientology was convicted of conducting espionage against Canadian law enforcement and government agencies, underscoring its ongoing pattern of covert operations and disregard for legal boundaries. Scientology's intelligence arm, once known as the Guardian's Office and now rebranded as the Office of Special Affairs, OSA, continues to play a pivotal role in intelligence and investigative activities. A 1958 policy authored by Hubbard institutionalized intelligence gathering, declaring, "It is done all the time about everything and everybody." Scientology provides extensive training for its intelligence and investigations officers, underscoring the institutional priority of surveillance and control. A 1988 policy defines intelligence as informing command areas about the plans, characteristics, and crimes of opponents, where crimes are broadly interpreted as any action or thought that opposes the organization. Scientology surveillance efforts are framed not as optional strategies but as essential religious directives, reinforcing control and isolating dissent. Timeless directives, the backbone of Scientology operations. Policies, regardless of their age, are treated as timeless and unalterable directives that form the core of the Scientology's operations. They are considered meticulously crafted blueprints governing every aspect of structure, management, and growth. Strict adherence to these policies is a fundamental principle, as the organization's continuity and success are believed to rely on unwavering compliance. Even decades-old directives must remain fully intact and adhered to, as altering or disregarding them is seen as a threat to the organization's integrity and survival. These guidelines are regarded as just as relevant today as they were when first written, highlighting the rigid adherence to Hubbard's original vision. Critical questions to consider. Why does a religious organization require intelligence-gathering capabilities akin to those of a government or corporation? What other religion employs intelligence and investigations officers to spy on critics of its organization? Why are resources devoted to spying, digging up dirt, and harassing critics or ex-members? What does it reveal about an organization that views dissenters as opponents requiring extensive monitoring and coercion? Why does a religious organization need command areas? Why does it classify critics or former members as opponents? What is the purpose of collecting information on perceived enemies' crimes and characteristics? Conclusion: the core of control in Scientology. Scientology's culture of surveillance and control is not a peripheral aspect of its operations, but a central pillar. Through a combination of historical espionage, relentless surveillance, and unwavering adherence to timeless directives, Scientology has embedded intelligence gathering and coercion into the fabric of its existence. By leveraging tools such as surveillance, intelligence gathering, and the weaponization of personal information, the organization maintains dominance, silences critics, and isolates dissenters. These practices, presented as religious mandates, ensure absolute control over members and external perceptions, perpetuating an atmosphere of coercion and fear. For an organization that claims to champion spiritual freedom, these deeply ingrained practices reveal a darker reality, one rooted in manipulation, suppression, and the prioritization of organizational power over individual autonomy.